Chi volunteers in Indonesia are helping 49 families who were left homeless after a December fire. A volunteer in Taiwan suffered tragedy and a life of bad habits before Tzu Chi helped him turn his life around. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Duncan DeAith. Thank you for joining us. A fire broke out in Tanjung Balai near Medan, Indonesia on December 22nd, which left 49 families homeless. Tzu Chi volunteers from Medan, Tebing Tinggi, and Kisaran all rushed to help affected residents and distribute aid after the disaster.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, the fire devoured 44 houses with 49 families were left homeless. Tzu Chi volunteers rushed to the disaster area soon afterwards.
Where difficulties are you experiencing, we will do our best to help.
This is Tanjung Balai, a location which attracted Tzu Chi volunteers who came all the way from Medan, a 5-hour trip by car. Also, other volunteers came from Tebing Tinggi and Kisaran to help out. Immediately after the disaster, they decided to give each family 20 kilograms of rice and condolence money to help them meet their urgent needs.
On behalf of the government and the victims of the fire, we are pleased to offer our deepest thanks for Tzu Chi's assistance.
Kasina continues to be fearful as her home was totally burned to the ground.
My child pulled me out as someone was shouting for help and saying there was a fire. I totally didn't know there was a fire that was taking place.
In addition to providing material assistance, Tzu Chi volunteers also provided much-needed emotional accompaniment to help all residents live in peace.
In China, 156 volunteers from 6 places recently traveled to Laiyuan County of Hebei to hold Tzu Chi winter aid distributions. Among the volunteers were many participating in such events for the first time. One of them remarked that the experience helped them truly empathize with the less fortunate. Let's check out the event.
Despite a freezing temperature, Tzu Chi volunteers have come to Doujunwan village of Laiyuan, Hebei with their best wishes for the residents.
He could not shovel the snow, so I placed some sand here. It's no longer slippery.
Happy? How can I not be happy? They spend supplies for the village for free. How can I not be happy?
A total of 156 volunteers from 6 places clad in Tzu Chi uniforms deliver love and warmth on the day of the distribution.
Originally, I could not even carry 30 kilograms of supplies, but today I carried 50 kilograms. I think my strength really comes from Tzu Chi.
Some local residents joined us as volunteers, and they are dedicated just like other Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. I am grateful for their service with love.
Since Hebei is not very far from us, we came here hoping to learn from other Tzu Chi brothers and sisters.
Joining a Tzu Chi event like this one makes me feel that our small gesture of kindness will ensure they enjoy the Lunar New Year.
In addition, the volunteers traveled a long distance to deliver winter supplies to the Zhu family village in the mountains.
We've come with some rice, flour, and blankets for your winter days. We've also brought winter clothes, all right?
The volunteers are deeply touched by the optimism of Grandpa Xu, who is in his 60s and has to care for his 2 mentally ill sons.
好不好？人只有有享不了的福，我们要受不了的罪。是。您的心态很好。
After seeing this, we now understand that many people suffer, but I feel we are down to earth. I think this is a great experience.
In the future, Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to deliver love and best wishes to the less fortunate in the mountainous areas.
Also in China, volunteers in Jiangxia, Hunan held a winter aid distribution for sanitation workers at the end of the year. They provided rice and cooking oil along with blankets to make sure they would be warm and well fed in the winter months ahead. Let's hear more. Over 600 large bags of rice are being distributed here in Changsha, China. Volunteers were up since early morning moving the load of rice.
It's 1:20 now. The brothers and sisters were up at 5 this morning. By 9 o'clock, we had moved 3 tons. That's 626 bags. With so many people, we had a lot of power to move things quickly.
This distribution is being held for local sanitation workers to ensure that they have what they need in the winter months. In addition to the rice, each household will also receive cooking oil and Tzu Chi blankets made from recycled bottles. The love and respect of Tzu Chi has impressed local officials taking part in the event.
You Tzu Chi volunteers really put effort into your work. You can tell it is a labor of great love.
Also on site, helping as a volunteer, is the principal of the nearby affiliated elementary school of the National University of Defense Technology. She was deeply moved by Tzu Chi's compassionate spirit.
The love you show here also makes the teachers feel the compassion of Tzu Chi. This is an example for us to be more warm and gentle towards others.
The recipients were all deeply touched by the respect from volunteers. For some sanitation workers unable to attend the distribution, Tzu Chi volunteers made special visits to deliver a little love directly to their homes.
This brand has been around a long time. It's the best. The master always says to give people the best, and that's what you all have done.
One sanitation worker, Li Mei Wu, was eagerly awaiting the volunteers' arrival. She was also surprised to hear that the blankets were made from recycled plastic bottles.
Wow, it's amazing. We give you all large batches of plastic, and you return them to us like this. You all look really after us.
Since her husband was injured in a car accident, they haven't received any assistance from Tzu Chi, and it has been difficult. Thankfully, this winter, Tzu Chi is there to provide a little love and happiness.
He said, you all have been like family looking out for us. Having so many people there looking out for us, it really gives us strength.
Delivering love and warmth to every corner of society, these volunteers wish residents all the best in the coming year. Tzu Chi volunteers in China recently hosted an aid distribution at a local school in Guangdong's Punning City, benefiting 276 families. More than 100 residents also served as volunteers at the event. The volunteers treated the recipients one-on-one. For those who were unable to attend the event, volunteers delivered aid supplies to their homes.
Tzu Chi borrows the venue from a school to host the winter aid distribution in Guangdong's Punning City. To nearby residents, this occasion is much like a wedding, where more than 100 volunteers actively join to serve the public. Prior to the distribution, volunteers interact kindly with the residents. Huang Lina, who has participated in winter aid distributions over the past 7 years, squeezed down to apply hand cream on the seniors.
I treat these residents as my own family. We talk about everything, caring about their life. We also try to understand what difficulties they face. This helps bring us closer together.
Volunteers accompany 276 families one-on-one and help them receive the aid supplies. After the distribution, all of the givers and recipients all show smiles on their faces.
I'll try everything possible to help those in need. The more I give, the more blessing I gain. Without repaying the society, there'll be nothing meaningful during my lifetime.
Thanks for the guidance of Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. This allows me to have the chance to meet everyone here and do good deeds together.
After the distribution, volunteers personally deliver New Year gifts to those who are unable to receive the aid supplies in person, allowing everyone to enjoy the Chinese New Year.
In our next report, we meet a Tzu Chi volunteer who once led a rich but reckless life. Zheng Jiangsheng was once a construction contractor who used to drink and party. However, after he suffered a stroke and lost both of his sons, he was left with nothing. Fortunately, Tzu Chi volunteers came to his assistance and helped him to embrace a new life.
I was reckless in the past who went out to drink a lot. I wanted to be a leader when I went out.
Zhen Zhangsheng recounts his past, which eventually went astray.
My son thought it is natural for him to become a scoundrel, seeing my lifestyle. Therefore, I feel quite ashamed.
Zhen's oldest son went astray, and his youngest son was diagnosed with cancer. After both of them died, Zhen now does one thing on their behalf.
I wrote their names on the bamboo coin bank and saved money in it every day, dedicating the merit to them.
Once a construction contractor, Zhen drank a lot with his friends. After he suffered a stroke, he lost his friends and money. In the end, he could not even afford to pay for his son's funeral costs.
I used up my money and was left with nothing. Fortunately, Tzu Chi brothers and sisters came to my assistance.
Zhen then turned over a new leaf. Not only did he join Tzu Chi volunteer training, he also encouraged one key recipient to volunteer.
He is very passionate. He took me to take the bus and MRT early in the morning and gave me directions to get there.
He was diagnosed with colorectal cancer when he was some 30 years old. The doctor gave up on treating him. He reminds me of my son.
Zhen, who's already 75 years old, was certified as Tzu Chi volunteer this year. He's grateful that he seized the moment to do what is right.
I used to do everything for myself. Now I feel that I should serve without asking for anything in return.
Continuing her island-wide journey, Master Zheng Yan recently attended a year-end blessing ceremony in Hsinchu, where more than 1,000 members of the Tzu Chi family came to witness the certification of 84 new volunteers, as well as to watch a performance of the Medicine Buddha Sutra. Here's more. In Hsinchu, Tzu Chi volunteers came together at a year-end blessing ceremony to witness the certification of 84 new volunteers who have chosen to walk the Bodhisattva path. The flower represents a solemn vow to work with diligence for the good of all beings. Nearly 700 Tzu Chi volunteers put on a sutra adaptation of the 12 vows of the Medicine Buddha. Ding Shengge was among the participants.
Since I can't let go of my worries, I turn to drinking and smoking to ease my mind.
The Master was also present to encourage volunteers to reaffirm their great vows every day and to do all they can to help others and improve society. During the solemn conclusion to the ceremony, volunteers reaffirmed their vows to do good at every opportunity as they look forward to the unlimited possibilities of the future. Haiti is a country that suffers from poor infrastructure. Since the major earthquake a few years ago, the capital, Port-au-Prince, can only offer 3 to 5 hours of electrical supply each day. In remote areas, there is sometimes no electrical supply at all. As for water, Haiti's rainy season lasts for half a year, which should provide abundant water. But drought can still be a problem when the water is poorly conserved or unevenly distributed. Also, poor water quality can lead to diseases such as cholera. Haiti has a number of important infrastructure needs that Tzu Chi would like to help them address.
The life of 16-year-old Kudener is like many others here in Haiti.
If I don't go to school, I can only stay home. Besides helping my mom with the cooking, I also have to fetch water. I go to the nearby well to get underground water so that my family will have water. Sometimes I read a bit, then I go to church.
Residents mostly use underground water here in Haiti. Although the wealthy can afford to drill their own water well, those who cannot can only fetch water from a supply station. Haiti's water supply system is funded by foreign countries. However, this only covers construction funds, not maintenance costs, making the water supply coverage less than 3%. Usually after consecutive days of rain or hurricanes, the water source often becomes contaminated, which is a risk factor for a cholera outbreak.
Cholera is spreading because the water is unclean and contaminated. What we need most right now is clean water, food, and medicine.
Top priority clearly for those people affected by the hurricane is to give them access to safe water. That's the only way we can control cholera on the long term in Haiti and elsewhere.
In the absence of adequate treatment, death can occur within hours of contracting cholera. In the aftermath of the earthquake in 2010, UN peacekeepers accidentally brought cholera to Haiti.
联合国从尼泊尔派来的维和部队是这一水源性疾病的来源。联合国已经确定这一株病毒来源于东南亚。
At the time, the outbreak killed more than 9,000 people. Today, the cholera epidemic continues to harm local Haitians, while at the same time, we have seen the rise of a new industry in Haiti.
But they don't have containers. We have to bring the containers.
This store in Jeremy sells water that is treated by reverse osmosis. A barrel of 5-gallon water costs 45 gourds, or about 67 US cents. But a container will cost you 450 gourds, which is about 6.68 US dollars, something not every family can afford. Thus, these families are forced to seek other alternatives.
5 gourds.
5 gourds. 5 gourds. 5 gourds is about 10 cents in US dollars for this bucket of water. But this is not drinking water. They'll need to put in filters.
Rainwater is free and is just like a gift from the heavens. Between May and October is Haiti's monsoon season. Therefore, this is a common sight. Haiti does not have a water shortage problem, but the government needs to come up with more effective ways to save water.
So this is my daughter.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, her name is Jade.
How about the little boy?
It's my nephew, Alex.
Gabriel used to be a white-collar worker, and this is where she lives with her family of 10. Although it's not very big, the house was built over a 15-year period.
Before I was working for UN. I worked for UN during 10 years. I was a human rights officer. And after 10 years, I quit.
When was that?
I left last year.
Having worked as a human rights officer for the UN, Gabriel feels somewhat helpless with the current situation back home.
Because no electricity is not working for that moment. But when it works, we have water, juice for kids, we put everything for the children. And especially when they have to go to school, sometimes we buy yogurt and stuff for them to go to school. So we put it in the fridge, but now no electricity.
Even though Gabriel's family can afford a refrigerator, television, and computer, they become like ornaments sitting around the house. This is because Haiti's power system is unstable and electricity is only available for a few hours a day. Water and electricity, such basic needs, have unfortunately become a matter of vital importance to the survival of the people here in Haiti.
In November last year, serious floods caused by continuous rain occurred in the Dominican Republic, forcing 1/4 of the provinces to declare a state of emergency. This past December, Tzu Chi volunteers went to visit 3 disaster areas and held several distributions, benefiting 119 families, or close to 600 people.
While local Tzu Chi volunteers went to investigate the damage, they saw mountains of garbage along the road. One major cause for the flood was littering, which prevented the gutters from draining the floodwater. Led by local Taiwanese business people who were familiar with the areas, the volunteers could quickly investigate 3 disaster areas and held distributions within 1 week. The supplies included corn powder, canned food, blankets, bleach that was used for disinfection, and mosquito nets that could prevent dengue fever. The volunteers told the aid recipients that the focus of Tzu Chi's assistance wasn't on the amount of goods given out, but the love to help people. In addition, a congresswoman was also present to pass on love. There were also 2 local volunteers who were once aid recipients, paying forward the love they received.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi kindergartens in Jalan Kepong and Pandan Indah invited children and their parents to attend a year-end blessing ceremony at the Jingsa Hall in Kuala Lumpur. On this occasion, they not only looked back at the past year with gratitude, but also offered blessings to welcome the new year. Here's more.
All of the teachers and children, along with their parents from Tzu Chi kindergartens in Jalan Kepong and Pandan Indah, attend a year-end blessing ceremony at the Jingsi Hall in Kuala Lumpur.
I feel touched by all the procedures of the ceremony, especially the song of the sutra they played for the kindergarten's parents and children. We were able to see some memories of the parents and children.
Everyone welcomes the new year with love.
We're thankful for the peace last year. We hope Malaysia is safe and sound. This means that everyone should think positively and say good words. We should also say good words at home because children will learn from us.
The red envelopes of blessing and wisdom from Taiwan are full of blessings and love.
This red envelope is given by Master Zheng Yan.
Through the year-end blessing ceremony, now all of the teachers, parents, and children can welcome the new year with happy hearts.
More than 10 years ago, Liu Xu suffered a car accident which left him paralyzed. His mother has since been looking after him. Tzu Chi volunteers visit this family every month and offer medical supplies and basic services to help them maintain the home. This help and concern are greatly appreciated by the family.
Helping Mrs. Liu get water from a neighbor. Helping her change light bulbs. Even bringing a urinary device to help Mrs. Liu solve the problem of frequent bedwetting.
The urine bag can be used for a week, or about 10 days, or up to 2 weeks.
Her son suffered a car accident which left him paralyzed. For the past 10 years, he has been bedridden, with her husband going out to work and the wife becoming responsible for his care. With all of these burdens on her shoulders, she has a heavy heart, as she even worries that her son stays up all night to play video games to earn money. Every month, Tzu Chi volunteers visit this family to help ease this mother's worry and bring her books and encourage her son to watch DaAi TV.
If you start sleeping at 1 o'clock, it's like boosting your blood, much like adding gas to a car which needs refueling.
Mrs. Liu, who once showed signs of worry, can now begin to relax as the volunteers bid her farewell. She finally has a smile on her face now.
In Jakarta, Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers recently hosted an event to promote love between parents and children. Over 1,000 children washed their parents' feet to express their respect. That's all the time we have for today. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program, and thanks for joining us.